it has come to my attention that certain people are talking about me using AI live during board meetings. Like I'm cheating or I'm cutting corners. Yes, it's true. It's true. Oh, and by the way, these are elected officials that are saying this. And I would actually argue that I'm doing my job better than probably any other elected official in all of Nevada, because not only am I super informed, but I'm very efficient and I'm like amplified by ChatGPT. So I'm going to just spill the beans and explain exactly how I am using AI for board meetings and for my elected position, and let somebody keep saying that I'm cheating, because they're not going to do this much work. I promise you. So what I do is I have separate folders. I have a separate folder specifically for my Nevada education stuff. Then inside of that folder, I have a lot of chats, and most of them, like 90% of them, are sorted by topic, like by whatever thing we are working on or came to us through an agenda. Maybe it's about like curriculum companies or the superintendent selection process or at-risk students data that we're tracking, things like this. These are all separate chats. And then I have a separate chat that is a board meeting assistant. And then I have a separate chat that is my board thought partner. So these are all within one project, and they can all access the different chats within that project. So when a new meeting agenda goes public, like a week or so before the meeting, I then go into my meeting assistant and I say, okay, here is the agenda, review it, look through all of our previous chats and update me on where everything stands. And then I confirm, I say like, okay, great, yep. And then I go, okay, well, here is what I'm thinking about this next meeting. And then I will share like my thoughts and connect that to work that we've been doing. So then I go to the supporting materials for the agenda for all the different items. So I prime all of my separate chats. And so then that's actually where like most of my work and use of AI or ChatGPT comes in, because I will spend time in that exact chat and I'll be like, okay, here's the new information. Let's look through the previous, information you have. How does this connect to it? Here's some vendors that are being brought to us. Here's these contracts. Can you do a web search? Can you do this or that? Let's think through all the possibilities that could happen at this meeting, knowing what we know about the current board and the direction that they've been going and some of the conversations that have been happening. What do you think will happen? Here's what I'm kind of thinking might happen. And we just like chat it out specifically about that topic. And if I don't know everything about that topic, I can, instead of me having to sit there and like spend hours reading all the material, I can ask it to educate me on it. I can be like, summarize it. I can be like, give me analogies to explain this. I can ask it to, quiz me on it or vet my knowledge of it to make sure that I'm competent going forward into the meeting with it. And then a lot of times the pro tip, what I do is I'll always like get a summary or something back, and then I'll say, okay, now rewrite it to me in my brand voice, which I have that brand voice GPT that you guys can comment to voice and I'll send it to you, or go to aipowerkit.com/voice to get it. It's free. But that is, I actually have a brand voice that is specific to my Nevada Board of Education stuff that's different than my like business stuff or my personal type of stuff. And when it comes back to me in my brand voice, I'm able to like process it a lot better. And then I will sit there and talk to it the entire time during the board meeting. And I'm like, here's what this person said. Here's what I'm thinking about this. Rosie, oh, she hears a puppy. Okay, so then I'm like, in real time, like, so-and-so just said this. I think that the vote might go in this direction. What do you think? How can I, phrase this to make sure that this point is considered or whatever? And a lot of times it will like guide me. Like I'll be like, oh, I'm going to say this, this, and that. And they're like, maybe you should say it a little bit more diplomatic. Here's a version because it has my brand voice guide and knows that I don't want to just like be a crazy person during the board meeting. And then usually like if I ever say, hey, my AI helped with this, it's not even like me talking. I very rarely even like say something that was written for me to say. The thing is, my AI talks to me like me. So sometimes I'll say, hey, here's what my AI suggested, and then I'll read it, and it sounds like me saying it, but it's really like my GPT talking to me as me, but like advising the whole board. And then it's really hard for them to argue with that, because it's like, here's what this infinite knowledge base just said. and let's go. And when it's totally finished, I'll be like, meeting over. Sometimes I ask it for a summary of something for my own notes, but I usually will just say like, okay, thank you so much. I'll let you know in the next agenda post and we will take it from here. So as an elected official, whoever voted for me, you actually got me and also literally like 11 AI assistants doing the work and like defending your honor at the state board of education level. So you're welcome. And everyone else that thinks that I'm cheating or like a dummy because I'm using AI, who's the real dummy? It's you.